Good morning. Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. All right, so before we get started, I'm gonna say my lip is a little bit weird today because we're doing a little uh surgical procedure on it. So it's a little swollen and I feel like I'm talking weird. So if you see me moving my lip weird, that is why. Try not to focus on it because that's all I can focus on. Anyways, happy Wednesday. Oh, this is going to be rough. Anyways, so we talked about divine spark in the Monday uh, motivation message email that goes out. And so, what this is, your divine spark, it's it's like a drop of light from this vast ocean that we call, you know, God or consciousness or, source. And so this spark, everybody has it. And so we can tap into this at any time. It's just the problem is that we forgot about it. We forgot that it was there. We forgot that we were born with it. That this is essentially like a blueprint, um, a light, a whisper from source saying, this is who you really are. This is where you come from. This is what you. There's something more for you, right? So, um, like we can feel it inside of ourselves. Like when we really actually tap in, you can put your hand on your heart and feel that subtle glow in your chest, that feeling in your chest. Like it's not just your heartbeat, it is your spark. It's who, like, it's this magnificent being that you always were. Like, and then again, we just forgot that. We forgot that we um are so beautiful and have so much knowledge and experience already when we came to this earth, that we start to look externally for everything. Like we look outside of ourselves. We look at what other people are doing, and we start comparing ourselves. My cat always has to join me every time I start a live. But so this is essentially when we're born, we know we have this spark. This is like it, when we're born, we have consciousness already. Like we have you know we're we know how great we are essentially. And so when life happens, like we get told to sit still or be good, or don't talk, be realistic, right? We're taught to achieve or perform or prove, and in that noise we start to forget who we are. Like we forget that the magic, again, it was never outside of us. It was never out there. It was always inside of us, just waiting and glowing and whispering. And so you were never disconnected from your power. You were just disconnected from the awareness of it. So when we seek outside of ourselves, answers outside of ourselves, like another strategy or another coach or another validation, it's not, the next level is, it's not something that you need to find. It's just something that you need to remember. So this, again, like this spark, it's like being a drop. Like we're told, like we're a drop from the ocean, right? Like you're just this like little individual being. You're separate from everyone else, but like when you think about it, like we all came from the same ocean. And technically, we are the ocean. Like we were never separate, we were never lacking, we were never missing anything. And again, like this is the drop from the infinite ocean of source itself. Like from, like if you want to call it God consciousness or whatever, but when we bury it and dim it and cover it up with expectations and wounds and the noise of not being enough, like part of awakening and gaining consciousness is knowing that that spark is still there and it's been all along, that it was just waiting for you to remember, like it was waiting for you to come back home to yourself. So this spark, is called monad, and it's basically like the original source. It's the one that's the eternal essence from which all consciousness originates. And like this appears in different religions and traditions, but again, it's sometimes described as your highest soul aspect or true self before incarnation. So this exists beyond ego, beyond soul, and even beyond the oversoul, right? Like the oversoul is the like it's the collection of all of the soul aspects. Like this is the one that, has done it all, lived it all, right? And knows it all. But so the monad is the divine spark, the soul seed, and then you have your oversoul, and then you have your soul, which is the individual like consciousness that moves through the lifetimes, right? And then you have your personality and your ego. Like this is basically like a temporary identity in this current life. So when you again awaken spiritually, you're not just aligning with your soul, you're remembering your monadic origin. And so, it moves through lifetimes. It collects your soul is a vehicle of experience and evolution, and it's the one that moves through lifetimes and collects wisdom and develops identity. But the monad is essentially what birthed your soul. And so this lip is going to kill me. So like it's like the God particle, right? Like that's within you. Again, not separate from source. It's the individualized expression of source itself. And, it's carrying the wholeness of all. And it's non-dual. Like it doesn't operate in duality. It like, good, bad, light, dark, right, wrong, right. It just simply is. Like it's eternal, it's infinite, it's perfect. So again, when you awaken, you connect to the monad. Like you have this deep inner knowing that I am that I am. You drop the, into this non-dual awareness, or what we call the void states, right? Like this isn't so we could talk about like pendulums, right? Like everybody knows the pendulum, it swings back and forth. Some people use pendulums for getting answers. And basically the pendulum of life is what keeps us trapped in the matrix, like in this 3D world, in this illusion of reality shaped by beliefs and emotional reactivity and unconscious patterns. Like when you swing a pendulum, on one side, Like you can say like one side's the good side, one side's the bad side. Like on one side you're chasing pleasure and success and validation and money and status, and then on the other side you're avoiding the pain and the failure and the shame and the rejection. Like the swing from one extreme to another, like like if you ever feel like life is a roller coaster, like the highs and lows of life, right? Fear to desire, high to low, joy to despair. Like it keeps you in motion and you're out of center, right? The pendulum is the emotional roller coaster that the matrix feeds on. It wants to keep you distracted, it wants to keep you trapped there, right? So when you're being trapped in the matrix, you're reacting to everything. Like you're constantly reacting to the external events, again chasing the highs, the dopamine hits, you're avoiding the lows. Like you're not in your sovereign creator self. Like you're a victim of circumstance, and you get addicted to the drama or something to fix. Like the ego, it thrives on problems. Like even spiritual seekers can get caught in that swing, like the healing, the fixing, the upgrading, like never arriving, like the being like the holier than thou, like I am super awakened, right? Like that's operating on ego. And so when you're in these high and low states, like your emotions are all over the place. Your energy is not your own. Like again, you're emotionally like hijacked. You're feeding energy into that pendulum, into the energetic pendulums. Like it's the belief systems and the media and the social narratives. Like again, that's what keeps you there. Your frequency that you're putting out is no longer sovereign. It's dictated by what you resist or cling to. And that's why, sometimes our outer world is matching what, like, well, our outer world is matching what's going on inside of us. So, the thing here is when you start to recognize that it's a pendulum and we stop labeling things as good or bad, right? You know, good and bad is part of the same polarity. If you're swinging towards good, you're still on that pendulum. Like people think that enlightenment and in consciousness and awakening, you're just in this like blissful state and you're just like, right? Like everything's great, you're happy, you're just, whatever. But it's not exactly like that. It's more of a, it just is. Like you're more neutral. You don't react to things. Like it's not like life is just floating by you, but like you see things in such a neutral state that you're just like, it is what it is. Like it's and I'm probably not explaining this the best way, but like it's the stillness. It's the 0 point. We talked about 0 point last week. It's the 0 point where you're free from the mental constructs. So what we could do, one good way to, like a lot of people meditate to try to get to this stillness, this 0 point, right? And so, like, what this is bringing you into a state of heart brain coherence, like unity with source, quantum possibility. It's pure awareness. So you're not pulled by extremes. You're present, you're conscious, you're clear. You create, not react. You allow, not force. So this is the observation of our thoughts. The observation that we're in a pendulum. So how I can really drop down into this to like actually feel the 0 point state is just, if it's safe to do so, just close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, just focusing on your heart center. And I just want you to imagine that you're a baby that's coming into this world. You have no language, you have no conception of what things are. You don't know if a thing is good or bad. You have no constructs. Nobody has taught you to fear. And so you come into this world as a baby without all the conditioning, without knowing what words are. I just want you to open your eyes. Don't label anything. And look around your room. Look around the things that are around you. I'm just going to pause here for a second so you can really experience this. So now, what happened there? Did your mind still assign labels? Did it still think thoughts? Or did you feel like you were in this total state of presence, of awareness? And it's okay, you know, there's no right or wrong to it, right? Like, because again, pendulum. um, but it's a good practice, right? We are not our thoughts. We are not our conditioning. We're not our emotions. Again, that's all learned. It was all taught to us. That wasn't us. So, how you exit the pendulum or the matrix or, you know, whatever. Practice radical observation. Like when you feel triggered, pause. Don't swing into, you know, like the extremes of the pendulum. Just witness the urge to react. You can even say something like, interesting. There's the pendulum again. This is part of what we talk about and teach in the Visionary You program. Like, that's a thought I am having. You know, we observe our thoughts. We don't make it right or wrong, good or bad. And you want to detach from the outcomes. Like, this is probably the hardest thing for, you know, even me to do. Like, we know we have goals, and desires, right? Like, but we want to look at them without attachment. Like, I want it, but I don't need it. Needing, desire, right? Like, um, I have to have it in this certain way, right? That's what keeps you swinging. So we get to release the polarity, let go of labeling things as good or bad. Choose presence over preference, peace over performance. And of course, like, you can do breath work, you can do meditation, you can do the heart coherence. Like, it anchors you into that neutral space where clarity and intuition can emerge. So again, it's not like the pendulum is not your enemy. Like, it's a teacher. Every swing reveals where you're still plugged into fear or lack or a identity story. The work isn't to control the swing, it's, step off the ride. And when you anchor into center, you become the creator. Like, you step into stillness, you exit the matrix. Like, you hold your frequency, and the world will start to rearrange around you. Because again, it's not late, we're still going to have emotions even when you stop with the pendulum, but it's more so like you recognize that this is the pendulum at work, right? Like, even if it's good, even good emotions, that's part of the pendulum. It's part of the swing. And it's not to say like you can't experience like joy and happiness, right? Like, you can still have the emotions, but just be aware. And like, this kind of stuff, it's hard to put into words, kind of, and it's not very sexy, right? It's not the thing that sells books. um Manifestation, right? Like, the thing is, like, when you're in this awareness, your frequency and your vibration raises. But you can still have, you can still, like, everybody teaches you, you have to manifest from this state of like happiness and everything's butterflies and rainbows, and right, like, that's what they teach in the books. And the thing is, like, we can't be happy all the time. Part of like, we have to have like an emotional bandwidth, right? Like, we have to be able to experience all of the feelings from both sides of the pendulum, and actually, like, we're building our bandwidth. Like, we're creating this ability to feel everything and not take us off, you know off the rails, right? So, as you are, like, if you can manifest from states of anger, you can manifest from states of depression and sadness and, woe is me, right? Yeah, it's more about your vibration and your frequency. So I know it's a little different than maybe what you've been taught. Um, but it's like, this is part of the premise of some of the stuff that we go through in the Visionary You program. And, by the way, that's starting on Monday. Um, so if you haven't clicked the button, or, if you didn't jump in yet, like, we still have until Monday. But in this program, again, 90 days, we don't chase goals. We're reactivating your essence. We're reawakening to who you were always meant to be. Not by becoming someone new, some new identity, but like we're returning back to the divine truth. So when going back to the spark, when that spark is lit again, your outer world begins to reflect your inner alignment. You're magnetic and calm and powerful, but not because you're doing more, but because you're finally doing it from your soul. So it's the chance to, start flickering again. There's no need to wait for permission. We don't need to be waiting for the burnout to hit, right? Like to finally seek help. So the welcome call is on Monday. Or the onboarding call, rather. So, like if this is something that you're on the fence about, definitely message me, because there's different plans that you can get into. I can talk you through anything. This is group coaching, but you also get one-on-ones too with me. So I really hope to see. I can't wait to see the amazing class that's going to join, and the kind of things that they're going to get by the end of it. Because every time I'm just blown away by this work and how much opens up. So I will see you guys no matter what next Wednesday. Hopefully this thing is like not bugging me anymore, because again, I feel like I need to like talk like this because I just but I hope to see some of you on this onboarding call on Monday, and can't wait to meet you there. Amazing, guys. I love you. Have an amazing week. And we will see you next Wednesday.